Say it now. Say the obvious prediction right now.
The Stars are going to win the Stanley Cup.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sarcastic Remarks alongside Chris. My name is Ryan. We are the official Dallas Stars podcast of THPN. Go and use that promo code THPN next time you go and use DraftKings Sportsbook. We thank them for being our sponsor of this podcast, of this episode, and all of THPN. And maybe next time you're there, you can bet on the Dallas Stars blowing a lead to a playoff team in the third period, Christian. The Dallas Stars lose by a final score of 4-3 to the Florida Panthers after having a 3-0 lead. Does that sound familiar? It is taking every ounce of my being right now not to be frustrated right now. Chris, what are some rational thoughts? Because what I'm thinking right now is not rational.
The Stars were the better team tonight. And that's honestly what is more frustrating about this game, because in the two games where we blew leads to Colorado, Stars were the better team. And they are continuing to consistently blow these leads against good hockey teams and play incorrectly towards the end of the games. I mean, we don't play this way whenever we play like the Kings. We didn't go sit back in our zone and hope that they didn't score. We went and attacked and played in the offensive end. And the Stars didn't do that. They waited for the Panthers to try and score and hoped that they wouldn't. And that's really horrible. The two big parts of the Stars game that sucked tonight, obviously the penalty kill. The penalty kill was absolutely atrocious. I mean, there was a couple of lucky bounces there for the Panthers. Sure. I don't care. You gave up 3 power play goals out of 4, and you're a top 10 penalty kill in the league. That's supposed to be a strength of this hockey team, and they absolutely blew it. And the Hakanpää-Lindell pairing not working out, and then Tanev and Suter were on for, I think, the first one. By the way, Tanev has not played good so far since he started in Dallas, and he shows that again tonight. So penalty kill was awful. And then Otter didn't have the worst night ever, but he still got beat by Bobrovsky by a wide margin. He got dominated. If you look at the head-to-head matchup, Bobrovsky really is the biggest winner for the Panthers tonight. I mean, you think if he just had a mediocre night, then the Stars would have been ahead 5-0, and the game would have been over. And he keeps them in it. In 3-0 game, he's making these massive saves, like seemingly when it doesn't matter. And Otter can't make one. He can't make that big save for us when we need it. And yeah, they weren't going to be easy saves to make. Sure, those aren't on Otter, but he doesn't give us the big time plays when we need them. And Bobrovsky gave that to the Panthers. And that's why the Panthers are first in the league and the Stars aren't.
Games like these make it really hard to believe that this team has a chance in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm sorry. You look at this is a good hockey team, Chris. This is a
great
good hockey team. Yeah, it's a great hockey team.
This team was better than the team they played tonight.
But 3 things pop into my head. We can't play against the top teams in the NHL. We lose to all of the good teams in the NHL. We can't play for a full 60 minutes. And we have yet to see in March, the middle of March, a full 60-minute effort. And we still cannot figure out how to keep the gas going when we have a lead. And, I'm done making excuses. I'm absolutely done trying to make excuses for the Stars. Was a couple of calls against the Stars pretty atrocious calls? Yes, absolutely. I don't give a flying crap. I don't give a flying crap about how bad the officiating was tonight. When you are the Dallas Stars and you are a Stanley Cup contending team and you're trying to think that way, you take care of business. They didn't take care of business, Chris. They haven't. They've been able to beat the bad teams. That's what they've done. This team has given me no hope for them in the playoffs. It gives me no reason to think that they're going to be able to go up against Colorado in the first round and win, or go against the Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup final, which is a possibility. I have no hope for this team right now. I don't. And you could say that it spirals up and down when it comes to emotions like this. And we're talking about this right after the game, Chris. But the thing is that this is something that has been consistent through the entire season. We have played 3 amazing games against Colorado, and all 3 times we lost. The good teams find a way to win, Chris. And the only time we seem to find a way to win is against the bad teams. Otter can't make a save for us when we really need it. He gets outdueled by Bobrovsky. Our penalty kill can't do anything to save our lives in this game tonight. We take our foot off the stinking gas pedal, and it allows Florida to come back into the game. The Stars had complete control of this game, Chris. Even in the third period, the beginning of the third period. They got the first goal, and I was still like, okay, that's fine, no big deal, because they showed what they could do against the LA Kings, and they shut it down. And I'm like, okay, last week I would have been worried about the fact that the Stars had a 2-goal lead and, all this stuff. That's out the window. Completely out the window at this point, Chris. And I mean, you can't convince me right now that this team has a chance in the playoffs. Maybe I wake up tomorrow morning and I feel better. And again, this is probably all emotional, but there's logic to the emotion, Chris. You can't beat the good teams. I mean, I don't even think we're 500 against the good teams, Chris. The teams that are going to make the playoffs, the top 16 teams in the NHL right now. Yesterday, me and James talked after the episode about the fact that, and I hate to bring it up, but I'm going to bring it up again. The hockey guy having the Stars at 10th on his power rankings when they're first in their division right now. It makes sense. They don't deserve to be it. And Joe Mama, you could say that I'm overreacting, but I really don't think I am. This team is going to be in the playoffs. I'm not worried about the playoffs. I'm not worried about the regular season. I'm worried about the playoffs. They don't stand a chance in the playoffs against any of the teams other than maybe the Winnipeg Jets at this point.
Do I get to talk to you now?
Sorry. I had a lot to say.
You're definitely overreacting because they played this team and they were beating them. better than
No,
this
I'm
hockey
not.
team. Saying
No,
that
I'm
there's no hope for the playoffs is definitely an overreaction, Ryan. Yes, it is.
no, it's not an
You have
overreaction.
no hope for the playoffs.
I have very little hope.
pack
How
it
about
up
that?
right
Is that
now.
is that better?
We should pack it up.
No, we still. That's why we play the games, because then something could happen. But the thing is you can't.
No,
You
saying
can't
it's
say
an
I'm
overreaction.
overreacting.
You talked for too long. I get to talk now. Saying it's an overreaction is incorrect. They played better than this hockey team. They played better than Colorado in those games. Yeah, they screwed the pooch at the end of those games. This hockey team is good enough to beat these teams. So saying that there's no hope, definitely an overreaction. The team played better than them. They screwed it up tonight. They have screwed it up multiple times against these good teams. They need to learn the lesson from it. They still haven't done it yet, but there's still time in the season. They have beaten good teams. They have done it several times this year. They're around 500 against the top teams in the NHL. It's not like they've lost every single game against the playoff team. Yeah, this is definitely an overreaction. Stars are definitely a very good hockey team. They had a terrible penalty kill tonight, and they didn't get a big save from Ottawa when we needed it. That's the summation of the game. Every other part of the Stars game tonight was very good, but they screwed it up at the end. And I hate you for making me take this stance because I'm pissed off too.
Well, I don't care. You're not gonna change my mind, and that maybe some other people in the chat can maybe calm me down a little bit, but I'm not changing my mind right now.
That's a very logical stance to take, Ryan.
It's
I'm not
it's
changing
not.
my mind.
You're 3-0 against the Avalanche. You're 2-0 against the Florida Panthers. You had a 3-goal lead against the Florida Panthers. You couldn't shut it down. You had multiple goal leads against the Colorado Avalanche, and you've blown those leads as well.
Yeah, those games sucked. 100% agree. But the Stars have beaten good hockey teams. They played very well. They play good enough to beat these teams. They need to learn how to win against these teams. That's
They
true.
haven't shown it
Saying
yet.
there's no hope for the playoffs, not true.
I don't have. You can't. I'm sorry. That's just where I'm at, Chris. I'm sorry. That being said, and off my soapbox a little bit, the officiating was atrocious tonight, and was a factor, a very small, minute factor, in the Florida Panthers getting back into this game tonight.
The
Because
officiating was atrocious on both sides, though, too, because Rope got his hand chopped in half, no call, and then he gets touched and then embellishes and flails all over the place, and we get the penalty. So, yeah, the officiating was bad. It was bad both ways, though.
And so that's why I'm not making a huge deal about this game, because they still have within their control to be able to take this and just kill it off.
And they should.
You couldn't do that.
Penalty kill is good enough.
Well, apparently not.
Yeah, recently it has absolutely sucked, and I think Hakanpää, for whatever reason, taking a massive step back is a huge part of that. But, I mean, none of them really played good. And there was some luck, too. I mean, the first power play goal is a freaking eephus that goes over Otter's head, and the second one clanks in off Lindell's skate. I mean, if it doesn't hit Lindell's skate, I think it's still probably buried because he didn't have the guy tied up as all, and that's why he had to try and kick save it. But, yeah, a little bit of luck and not great penalty killing.
This has been a consistent thing all through the season, Chris. And the way that I'm feeling right, huh?
What has the penalty kill?
Yes, it's been like this for the last 3 or 4 months.
Penalty kill's been great. We're number 8 in the league.
Okay, but we have games like this where we screw the pooch and allow 2 or 3 goals, and that didn't happen at all at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So it's either we're getting worse, or everyone else's power play is getting better.
Because we haven't a lot worse right now. Yeah, Hakanpää sucked recently. The past 1 to 2 weeks, he's been really bad. And the Tanev Suter, they are not connected on that penalty kill at all.
I don't know. I don't fully agree with you, by the way, on the whole Tanev thing. I don't think he has been bad since he got here. I give him a pass on the first game because he did not play well in that first game. He didn't even know anybody on the team when he got there. He got there for warmups. But after that, I thought he played really well, especially in the Ducks game, especially in the Kings game. That was something that I thought he looked really good at.
Those 2
Tonight,
games he
he
did look fine.
tonight he did not look good for multiple issues, and just in the third period. And see, here's the frustrating thing that I'm so what makes it worse, Chris, is the fact that they played great. They played excellent tonight. They had allowed 1 goal to the Florida Panthers, the best road team in the NHL, through 40 minutes. You have to play 60 minutes. You have to be able to play 60 minutes. And the fact that they cannot close out a game against a good team is extremely concerning, because we don't play bad teams in the playoffs. It's just not going to happen. And typically, this is so cliche to say, but history repeats itself. And if they can't figure this out in the next, however many games we have left before the end of the regular season, 13, 14 games, I don't like our chances. I don't.
What out?
Being able to play a full 60 minutes.
Well, they did against the Kings, against the Ducks.
1 time. That's the only game I can think of off the top of my head recently that they've been able to do that.
They have. It's definitely a problem of theirs is consistently playing 60 minutes. But honestly, for me, it's not even
problem,
that as much
Chris?
as it is the penalty kill. For me, the penalty kill is what really did us in.
No, that's
We
yes,
gave up
that
3
is,
power play goals. So how is it
yes,
not the penalty kill tonight?
but
That's the number one factor.
But you said it yourself. They have been decently okay for the whole season. They're top 10 in the NHL. The thing that you should be concerned about is the fact they can't hold leads going into the third period against good teams. And it's not just the penalty kill in the third period, Chris. This has been like numerous games against really good teams where they cannot protect the lead and they just take their foot off the gas and they bonus the turtle crap out of the game. We've seen this, and it's super frustrating, and I know that people are probably going to say, oh well, that's just the nature of the game this year, and hockey has changed, and momentum swings. Okay, great. I made that excuse a couple of months ago for this team, and I said they'll figure it out. Well, guess what? It's months later. They still haven't figured it out. I'm done making excuses for this stuff. I don't care about lucky bounces. I don't care about that. The result is what matters. The result is what matters. When they did not get the results that they had to get tonight. That's just, and that's all that matters in the playoffs. It doesn't matter how you play in the playoffs at this point, right? It's all about the results. Sorry, I'm done.
I just think this game is a lot different than the Colorado games were. Colorado games, absolutely 100% agree. They were complete collapses. This one was still a collapse, but it was a collapse on a very specific part of our game. And the Colorado games, the whole thing blew up in the third period on those games. The whole thing was gone. This one, I think it's mainly the penalty kill is what did it. I agree. They still were a lot slower and they shouldn't do that. They need to keep this same pressure the same way and play in the offensive zone the way that they did against the Ducks and the Kings. Easier teams, obviously, but I just find this to be a little bit different than the Colorado games, just because this isn't a complete collapse. It's just the penalty kill is the main deal for me, and I wish we can get one more save from Otter. Those are still my 2 big keys tonight. I agree. I'm very frustrated that they can't find a way to lock these games down with these third period leads, especially the big leads. And they all happen against good teams and big games that we're all excited about. So I 100% understand and agree with that frustration. And I think that is a problem, finding ways or learning how to win against these good teams. But I find the Avalanche game and this game to be distinct from each other. I think the reasons for why we lost are different.
But again, it's still the same result, Chris.
It's the same result.
I do understand what you're saying. Yes, this was a very specific way in how we lost this game. It was the penalty kill, and it's something that we should be able to lean upon and at least get one of those goals not on the board. But yeah, so but it's still the result. That I know it seems like a stupid way to kind of look at it, but That's the only thing that matters, Chris. It doesn't matter that we played, that there were a lot of encouraging things. That like Ben was getting into the play. That was really encouraging. The fact that Marchment was getting in there too, and they were being physical with us. And I was thinking during the game, oh, this is great. Like this is a team we'll see in the playoffs. And even though we're more of a running gun team, north south kind of team, off the rush, kind of scoring goals and stuff like that, we can absolutely play this style if we need to, because we've got guys that can do it. We got Hockenpah who can play physical. We got Lindell. We got Ben. But all of that goes out the window when the result doesn't happen. And that's the thing that I'm most frustrated about more than anything is if we had just totally just screwed the pooch in this game, I would rather us do that than lose the way that we did, because they gave us hope. They played really well through 40 minutes, maybe even 45 minutes. And then just when they needed it most, they could not take care of business. And that's been the consistent thing throughout the season. Haven't been able to take care of business against the good teams. So sorry, I'm just talking in circles here, but this is why we have you on the podcast, Chris, because otherwise it's just me just rambling to the internet.
It's mostly been you rambling tonight.
I know, I'm sorry. but you can't say and I'm starting to come back to earth a little bit and I'm feeling better. But the thing is what I'm feeling, I can't be the only one. And I feel like a majority of Stars fans feel that way right now.
That's how I felt after the game too, which is why I'm pissed that you made me defend it. But this doesn't make the Stars a bad hockey team. Like the Stars played great tonight, except for their penalty kill. That's it. I mean, you can dig into it a little bit more like you did, and I somewhat agree with you. They have a problem closing out third period leads against these good teams. That is definitely true. But if you isolate this game, they played fantastic except for the penalty kill. And it was against the best team in the league, who is on fire right now.
Well, apparently we were on fire too, 5 in a row.
And everybody knew that was different because of the teams that we played.
And that's exactly what a lot of people are saying. And I didn't want to believe that because I saw them in person and the way they played those 2 games on the road. And I was just like, that was fantastic. That's exactly how you need to play every single game. And then they start this way tonight. They give you some hope, and then it just goes.
It wasn't just hope. They dominated the game. That's not hope. They beat them. They were better.
No, they didn't.
You know what I mean. They played better than them. So if you look at this game, you try and take away even more emotion. The Stars were winning 3-0. They should have been 5-0. Sergei Bobrovsky had maybe one of the better games that we've seen from a goalie, and we've seen some extraordinary goaltending against the Stars this season. And the Panthers win, one, because they got lucky and it was a officiating crew that called a bunch of penalties. That's good for the Panthers. The Stars penalty kill sucked, and they had 2 of the luckier goals you'll see tonight. One with an eephus over his head. The other one was kicked in by our own defenseman. So you take a step back from it. I mean, you could even chalk it up to luck. So
I don't know.
I'm not chalking it up to luck. I'm just saying, like, try and remove even more emotion. It's explainable. It's just frustrating because this is a game you're circling and you're looking forward to, and it's a good measuring stick. And we had the lead and we should have won.
And didn't even get a point out.
Yeah, and they blew it. The penalty kill blew it, in my opinion.
I should also acknowledge the fact that Bobrovsky was ridiculous. He was absolutely ridiculous.
4 massive saves, like the most insane things.
But that's what I mean. Good teams find a way to win.
Yeah,
and we didn't find a way to win.
In the league get some big saves from their goalie. Stars haven't had.
We haven't.
Can you imagine if we had last year Otter on this team? We would be running away with the President's Trophy right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to be gloom and doom and everything like that, but
You are. You said you have no hope in the Dallas Stars.
I don't have a lot of hope in them beating a team if they go against. I mean, it's got to be Colorado in the first round, Chris. I don't think we're gonna win the Central Division. I don't know what who was playing what tonight, if Colorado was playing, if Winnipeg was playing,
Colorado
but
came back in the last few seconds of the game to win. I think they won. I didn't
not
double
helping,
check.
Chris.
Yeah.
Not helping.
Happy to be here though.
Uh, uh, Avalanche are winning 6-2 over the Flames right now.
Oh. Hey, I don't know
So
what I'm talking
maybe
about
that was a
then.
different game.
Maybe they scored like 2 goals to take the lead. That might have been what I saw. I saw a tweet.
Yeah. I don't even know about the Jets. The Jets win yesterday. Yeah, they beat the Capitals yesterday, 3-0. So that doesn't help.
Yep. But luckily, we play the Avs one more time. We play the Jets one more time. And other than that, we got a pretty easy schedule. I think the last good team that we play is the Canucks. And I think that's next week? Week after, maybe?
I don't remember, to be honest with you, Chris.
They have, I mean, if the Stars lose. Hello?
Sorry, internet.
No, that was me, I think. Anyway.
Oh, was it really you?
Yeah, it was me. Anyway, what I was saying was, as the Stars lose division, it's fully on them. They have every opportunity to win it because of their schedule mainly, and the other team's schedules are tougher. So they should win. If they don't, it's because they suck.
All right. I'm done. I don't have anything else to say. Biggest winner, biggest loser.
Biggest winner, I'm gonna give it to Kachuk. I'm still a fanboy, even though he just took my team and shoved their faces into the ice. That was awesome. I love Matthew Kachuk. He is like the best player. He's like prime Jamie Benn. It's great. It's fun to watch him. I hate him.
I hate him too.
Tonight. I love him tomorrow.
I'm gonna give it to Bobrovsky because without Bobrovsky, the Stars win this game.
Yeah, and when those saves happen, we don't
it.
even think it. It's like, okay, whatever. He can make some big saves. We'll keep playing the way we do, and it turns out to really make a difference. I mean, if that game's 5-0 in the second period, like we're packing it up. Crazy.
Biggest loser?
Biggest loser is the penalty kill. Terrible. I don't care how good the power play is, honestly. Giving up 3 out of 4 is awful. Don't blame officiating. The officials were just as bad on the other side. The officials just overall sucked, so it was fair. You gotta make a play, dude. Terrible.
I'm right there with you. I'm not blaming officiating tonight. It's the biggest winner is the Dallas Stars penalty kill. So, yep, that's kind of where I'm at tonight. And maybe I'll be more logical tomorrow and I'll write a more logical blog post, but I doubt it. I'm still going to be hacked off about this. And I still don't like our chances in the playoffs, Chris. I'm sorry. I'm until they prove to me that they can play a shutdown game with the lead in the third period against a good team. I don't have any faith in them. I don't. I'm sorry.
And I agree with you on that. This is the point where I will get mad. You have 3 games to make up for this one. And you absolutely have to now. You have to figure out a way to close these games down no matter what happens. I mean, even if we allow 3 penalty kill goals, Rupe Hintz needs to score that goal. Duchesne needs to score his goal. Those are our best players that need to win these games. We don't need to rely on Yanni Hakanpää and Sam Steele on the penalty kill to win these games. Even if they screw it up, which they did tonight, I'm still blaming them. Your best players go win the game. So find a way to do that in these last 3 games against top tier opponents. You can't lose these games the same way. You have to win these last 3 games for me to feel really comfortable going forward. Otherwise, it's just going to be a big question mark. And Otter really needs to figure something out. I mean, we've seen goalies go into the playoffs ice cold and just come out of nowhere and be fantastic. That's pretty much what Dobby did in the bubble playoffs. He didn't have a great regular season before that happened, and then he had freaking 2 months of COVID, and then he shows up in the bubble as fantastic. So it can happen, but he just does not seem anywhere near like any Jake Ottinger we've seen so far in his career. So hopefully he figures out for the playoffs. Otherwise, we're just going to be praying for a miracle once the playoffs start.
And with that, we will wrap it up. Thank you to everybody who has watched live. We've had it's been getting up there, Chris. We had up to 83 people here tonight that were watching live.
I'm going to have to start doing my hair before these things, man.
Yeah, and for me, like, what hair do I have? Am I going to be able to do here?
Toupee.
I'm going to
with this shop.com to get us some toupee money.
There's no toupee. There's no toupee there, and no, I don't need a toupee. It will not happen. StarcasticRemarks.com is the website. StarcasticRemarksShop.com is the merch store. It's the best way to support us. Go and check out those 2 websites there. Please consider leaving a 5-star review anywhere you listen to your podcast. I will try to jump off my soapbox for the rest of the night, but they're going to have to prove to me at this point. And I'm done making
big games to do it. 3 big games to do it, in my opinion.
Yep. And as always, thanks to DraftKings Sportsbook. Along with Chris, my name is Ryan. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. See you guys again on Thursday when the Stars take on the Penguins, I believe, Chris. Is that right?
I'm trying to look it up, and my internet's not working. So your guess is as good as mine. No, it's isn't it the Devils? I don't know.
Oh, it might be the Devils. We have Pittsburgh coming up soon anyways. But anyways, hope you guys have a good, fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are listening, and we'll catch you on Thursday. You guys have a good evening.